Dear sweet naive Spectrum, I've worked hard to get where I am now. 6.5 years of my efforts have come to fruition into this business. And in my time, do you think some first-year, second-year rookie wants to come by and call me selfish, call me a bird, and think that's gonna hurt my feelings? This is your A-game material against me? Oh my goodness. Oh, if I'm a crow, then you must be a mockingbird. Crows are one of the most intelligent animals on the earth. They're highly adaptable. And do you know what a collection of crows together is? Just like how Apex is, we are a collection of murder. A collection of force and destruction here. So go ahead, call me a crow. Just don't be afraid when your eyes get pecked at. Now I'm going to take my shiny trinket and my proud title of bird, and I'm going to continue being champion now and after Multivania. When I beat you, I'll read you my favorite passage from one of my most recent books, To Kill a Mockingbird. I've bookmarked you in there, Spectrum. Now let's turn the page to this chapter and call this story to an end.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Generics, and it is time for another episode of Friday Night Flashbang. And if you can believe it, we are just a couple of short weeks away from Multivania. And we just heard from the World Heavyweight Champion, the Crimson Phoenix, who says, compare me to a crow? Well, that's fine. I've been 2 steps ahead of you this whole time. Of course, it will be Spectrum taking on none other than the Crimson Phoenix at Multivania, and that promises to be an absolute barn burner. The main event for Night 2 of Multivania, we have anticipated Spectrum using their win in that massive Monster Mash 30-man over-the-top rope battle royal. And finally, at Multivania, they get their shot from all the way back in October. But here tonight, Spectrum and the rest of the club have a bird problem, it seems. El Pollo de la Muerte and Crimson both have club opponents going into Multivania. Of course, Scott E. Stevens, the opponent for El Pollo de la Muerte. And here tonight, in 6-man tag team action, bitter rivals continue to put that aside as the Birds try to beat down the club in our opening matchup. And it's next.
The following contest is a 6-man tornado tag team match, and it is scheduled for 1 fall. Introducing first, representing the Executive Club, weighing in at 267 pounds, Rico Rose.
The newest recruit to the Executive Club, the new protege of Tyson Smythe, is Rico Rose. And it was Rico Rose last week who secured the man advantage for War Games. It will be Honorbound taking on the Executive Club. And that match was not without its controversy. Of course, Bully Dog, the former member of Honorbound, the special guest referee. And let's just say that the jar found out the hard way. Bully was not interested in calling it right down the middle. Apparently, we will hear from Mr. Lawson addressing that matter here later tonight.
And introducing his tag team partner, and a combined weight of 589 pounds, the team of Spectrum and Scott E. Stevens, the Executive Club.
So Rico, Scotty Stevens, and Spectrum, the three for the club. Spectrum, of course, we saw will be taking on the World Heavyweight Champion Scotty Stevens to challenge for the Interdimensional Championship. Rico Rose to be involved in War Games. And so the Birds are going to need a third, and we're going to find out who that is right now. Meanwhile, Scott tweeting out before he comes out here, quote, the best dressed faction in the multiverse.
And introducing their opponents first. Representing Apex, weighing in at 233 pounds, they are the World Heavyweight Champion, the Crimson Phoenix.
Phoenix might have something to say about the sharpest dress in the multiverse. The Firebird on Friday nights.
And introducing second, weighing in at 242 pounds, representing AAA, they are the Interdimensional Champion, El Pollo de la Muerte.
Arise, chicken! Chicken arise! El Pollo de la Muerte is here! We've got the Firebird. We've got the Chicken of Death. Crimson and El Pollo, despite their rivalry over the years, have worked well as a team in a concerted effort against the Executive Club. Remember, it was Crimson, El Pollo, and Graven Allen that had success in trios competition. Could we be running it back?
And introducing next, weighing in at 221 pounds, representing Honor Bound, he is one half of the World Tag Team Champions, Sajar Cole.
3 champions, and Sajar looking for some revenge on Rico Rose. One of the members that will be involved in War Games at Multivania. So the club versus 3 of our MNW champions, a tag champion, the Interdimensional, and the World Champion. A star-studded lineup, but not a lot of experience tagging together. And we'll see if that plays a factor in this Tornado Tag Team match. But plenty of grudges. Remember, it was Sajar that was screwed by Bully Dog in his match against Rico last week. So, folks, who do you like? We are off and running. And look at that Enziguri right to the head of Spectrum. Meanwhile, it's going to be El Pollo de la Muerte squaring off with Rico Rose. And now Sajar wants to get him some. Spectrum able to counter the Crimson Phoenix. Now into the quick cover. And a kick out. Able to duck underneath again. And knock down the Crimson Phoenix. Moonsault there by Scotty Stevens. And now a submission on Rico Rose, that House of Pain. Scoop slam by Spectrum. A German suplex. Now the club using the numbers game. Kind of do-si-do. Drop kick missed. Now there's a quick roll-up. Drop kick there by Rico Rose. A lot at stake here. All 6 of these competitors will be involved with Multivania in one fashion or another. But later tonight, more competitors will punch their ticket to the King of the Showcase match. And we will find out whether or not Sergeant Major Payne has done enough to face off with Bully Dog, who we will see in action here coming up next. Shot to the back of the head, Scotty Stevens. Plenty of history with the Crimson Phoenix. Going after the leg. Well, Spectrum picked up a huge win last week in our main event against Victor Vicious. Add their name to the handful of people that have ever beaten Vic one-on-one. And now here come the kendo sticks. Look out here, and down goes Crimson. Compliments of a sledgehammer and Scotty Stevens. And now Sajar trying to get after. Oh, look out here, the cover to kick out by Crimson. Nice counter to Spectrum. Now Sajar going after Scott. And trying to help out. Working run to Rico. And here comes Spectrum. Going right back after Crimson. And a kick to the back. And the club trying to do their best to take care of, I guess we'll call them the Void Birds, because we have no idea where Sajar comes from outside of the Void. Even that's an assumption. Here's a cover and a kick out. A running power slam by Rico, and there goes El Pollo. And Sajar isolated now. Crimson able to reverse, and now back into the ring. Look out here, trying to help out. Going after Crimson. Able to duck out of the way of Stevens, who then takes him down. Now into the cover. A drop kick, there goes the aforementioned Spectrum, and now here comes El Pollo. Uppercut. And now submission locked in. Look at Sajar trying to break it up. And able to, but then catches a clothesline. And Zaguri missed. And there's a headshot to Rico. back in the ring is the aforementioned Spectrum. Once again, there's the atomic drop to the Bird. A kick out by Sajar. Stevens nearly had him. Oh, look out here. The flying chicken. But Rico also with a wing flipper. That was nearly problematic. And there's a shot to the back with that sledgehammer. Now Sajar trying to get back in the ring to break it up, and does. Now the power bomb. Steve is looking to fly. Look out here, able to slide out of the way. And on the drop kick off the top. The pin attempt by Crimson, no good. And oh, the forearm to Stevens off the reversal. Breaking it up. And now here comes Stevens. Able to stop that. Clothesline there from Spectrum. And another shot by El Pollo. Now everybody down. Here come the kicks. And then a shot to the face. Oh, and a shot by Crimson with the sledgehammer. Oh, look out here. Looking for the Phoenix Arrow. And now the chicken wing locked in on Stevens and a kick out. And look out here. From behind, Rico, German suplex. Clothesline of Rico now by El Pollo. And this has just been pandemonium. Oh, look out here, looking for the Phoenix driver. El Pollo taking them out. And they got him! The champions win! Phoenix driver to Stevens.
Here are your winners, the team of the Crimson Phoenix, El Pollo de la Muerte and Sajar. Ho!
The champions stand tall, but it will not be tag team action at Multivania. It'll be War Games and singles matches. And folks, coming up next, Bully Dog looking to make sure he is sharp for Multivania. But before we get to that, apparently, and this is just a rumor going around, Alexis had some words about their record-breaking performance last week, punching their ticket to Multivania, much like many this week will try to do just the same. Let's take a listen to what Edmonton had to say.
It's time for a wee history lesson with Alexis. I know there's a few of you who weren't around back then, so for once I'm not preaching to a choir. Back when Prior Wins qualified you for the King of the Showcase, I got in on a technicality. See, there was a house show, Dark Showcase, that I happened to win. And adding one I had won previously, I scraped by on my record of 2, with an asterisk. Now I have been informed by the record keepers of MNW that I am now the record holder for victories in showcases. My qualification has begun a new badge of honour to my name. And there's a little bit of extra hilarity to add to this masterpiece of destiny. Y'all remember how Colt started a war with me and dragged me into the last King of the Showcase I was in because he missed so many chances and I was getting the blame for it? Well, look what happened again! I've once again proved that I had and always will have his number when it matters. Yeah, Henry took his shot, got a motor revenge, but that was just bloodlust. Now I took another opportunity away from him. And while I'm not proud of keeping down one of the most badly treated members of this roster, his continued fury towards me doesn't make me feel sorry about it either. And for the record, don't think I overlooked the fact that I faced and took out another former world champion in Azia Turan. Sure, showcases are their own beasts, and as the new record holder, I know. But given I've gotten so few opportunities for titles that haven't come with huge undertakings attached, like the briefcase, it's starting to sting a little, not going to lie. Guess I just have to go to the King of the Showcase and add another notch to my record. Then they won't be able to keep ignoring the anti-villain, will they?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Alexis Edmonton has made it clear they will not be overlooked. A new record holder for most wins in a showcase. Certainly an accomplishment that, while impressive, might not stand for long, depending upon tonight's events. You never know who's going to show up in a showcase. And I think there's a certain big rock on their heels that might have something to say about that. But before we get to any of that, coming up next, the big roof champion in action against the Night Reaper.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 246 pounds, he is the Big Roof Champion, Bully Dog.
They're even making our announcers say it. The Big Roof Champion is here. He was that special guest referee we talked about last week, and now this week in singles competition. Just a couple of weeks away, he will either defend that championship against Sergeant Major Payne, or maybe he'll join the executive club inside the War Games match.
And introducing his opponent, representing Doom, weighing in at 247 pounds, he is the Night Reaper, Syracuse.
The man who punched his ticket to the brass briefcase match at Multivania. We also know joining him, Lucius Constantine, DeLuna, Kathgina, the Sandman, Damian Anderson, Mr. Enigma, the Grim Reaper, and for the first time ever, a Warzone competitor will be in the brass briefcase ladder match. Jagger Blackthorn. No, you didn't hear that wrong. Things are just crazy. And here we go. We're looking to start it off with a backbreaker to Xerxes. Remember, the brass briefcase has already been used once to cash in on the, oh, look out here, on the Interdimensional Champion here on Flashbang, and it was used to bring the Big Oof Championship to Friday nights. Bully Dog was in the ring when Alexis Edmonton had to cash in that briefcase for the Interdimensional title. It was Defunct that brought over the Big Oof title. Who will climb the ladder and retrieve the briefcase this year? Will it be this man, Xerxes, who very well could get an opportunity at Bully or whoever the Big Oof champion is at the end of Multivania? And a kick to the head of Bully Dog. Meanwhile, Alexis tweeting out on social media, quote, "If Big Rock wants to make it a competition, friendly, of course, I have no issues with the forces. I'd love to see where that could take the future of the showcase. Nothing ever gets done without a little fire being lit." Now into the corner, big elbow. Now just throws his body at Bully Dog, and now into the cover. Trying to end this one quick, but not even a 2 count. Big right hand there to Bully. Catching the leg, Bully Dog. To the head there. And the dragon screw takes down Bully once again. And an elbow. And just putting the boots to the champion. Off the ropes goes Xerxes, or at least I thought he was going to. Maybe rethinking his strategy. Legs was kind of in the way on that one. Now to the corner. No, off the ropes we go. Oh, the face first into the canvas. And now Xerxes to the top rope. Not afraid to fly. The Night Reaper with the elbow to the heart. Now a kick to the back. To the face of Bully. Quick roll up, Bully now able to bridge on through. And a kick out there by Xerxes. Now look at this. Oh my goodness! Speaking of Alexis Edmonton, the Mad World by Bully Dog. That fisherman buster that they like to employ. Now somebody's telling Bully about the tweets. And here comes Xerxes. Tombstone. Dropping him. And out of the top rope. Looking to drop the leg. The guillotine. Cover. And Bully stays alive. No, wait a second. There's a counter. Counter by Bully. Into the roll-up. Count of one and a kick out by Xerxes. And a forearm right to the face, and Bully Dog talking trash. Wait! Sergeant Major Payne just hopped the barricade. Payne dropped the barricade, and now he's taking the title. And Bully is incensed. Sergeant Major Payne hopping the railing, and Bully says, "Give me my property." The mind games continue, and hey, welcome to the rest of the match. Right hand by Zericus. And Zericus throwing Bully back into the ring. To the top rope, no, back in the ring. And now picking him up. Look out here, looking for the Nightmare Neckbreaker. Into the cover. 2. And he steals it. Thanks to Sergeant Major Payne.
Here is your winner, the Night Reaper, Zericus.
Never take your eye off the prize, and Bully got distracted. Sergeant Major Payne continues to be a thorn in the champ's side. And what a way to kick it off here on Friday nights. A couple of absolute barn burners. Well, we talked about our main event last week with Spectrum in the ring to kick off our show here tonight. They defeated Victor Vicious, and we have some audio from Victor, who seems almost impressed by Spectrum. But as with most Victor Vicious speeches, there's a caveat.
All right, I'll admit it. Spectrum, you were the better fighter tonight. That much is clear. And maybe you can go to Multiverse and beat Crimson Phoenix. And maybe you can become the next World Heavyweight Champion. Because it seems like I'm not ready to become a champion again. Hell, I'm not even ready for the damn spotlight. And that is a bitter pill to swallow for me. And you know what? We've had our differences in the executive club. And you knew I wanted out. Everybody in that club knows I want out. But nobody seems to address it. So I figured this match with you, make it all even keel, and we go on about our business. But then you decided to bring Tyson and Lawson in to put boots to me after you had won. Let me ask you a question. I know you're new here. Do you think that you can bully me like y'all do the rest of this roster? Do you think I'm going to cower down and just accept what you give me? Now, I could go off about how I'm going to put my foot up Lawson's ass and walk it dry. But then I would sound like some sort of Welshman now, wouldn't I? No. I know Vania is a busy time for the executive club, and as of right now, I don't have a match. So, either you deal with me and let me get out of my contract, or the executive club might have some technical difficulties.
Release me or fight me. A declaration by Victor Vicious. And I guess the insinuation by not having a match at Multivania is that Vic wants the club. Oh boy, there is a lot going down, but folks, coming up next, speaking of Victor Vicious, the only man in the multiverse that decided he was worth helping has been Brawl Kaiser, and here tonight, he continues to pay that price as the club sends out one of their champions to deal with the Brawling Star.
The following contest of all, introducing first, representing the Authority from New York City, New York, weighing in at 247 pounds, Artemis!
So Artemis, the trio's champion, to go one-on-one with Brawl Kaiser. Artemis certainly looking pumped. Remember, he was as shocked as anyone to see the return of Jagger Blackthorn, but that is not his problem here tonight. It is Brawl Kaiser, the former interdimensional champion.
And introducing his opponent, representing Flow, weighing in at 245 pounds, he is the Brawling Star, Brawl Kaiser!
Not one to be called a hero, but the man who somehow sleptwalked his way through multiple matches here at MNW has returned to full strength and full consciousness. He's been called the best boy, the good boy. But as always, trending on social media, hashtag #GoGoBrawlKaiser. And here we go. There was a time these two would have found themselves on the same side, but Artemis has long expressed his gripes at the way things went down in Fate, that resistance to the original Empire of Terror back in the infancy days of Flashbang. And now looking for the scanning moonsault, Artemis. And throws him right in the legs. Using the referee as a weapon, and then shoves him into the corner. A clothesline, elbow. Thrown out of the corner. A forearm shot to the face. Springboard, moonsault. Artemis able to move out of the way. And a clothesline. Right hands and a forceful shot to the gut. A couple more knees. That one was countered by Brawl. Throws him down. Kicked away. While climbing towards the corner. A kick to the gut. Forearm. What in the world? Uh-oh! The music of Jagger Blackthorn rings out in the arena, and Artemis immediately turns to the ramp. And Brawl staggers to his feet. Artemis doesn't see him, but able to duck underneath. Couple of kicks to the leg. Back to the leg. I don't know if that was the production truck or if Jagger is messing with Artemis, but an elbow to the face. For the knee. Brawl doesn't know where to go, so he drop kicks the knees. Now the head scissors. Now the springboard into the Hurricane Rana. Telling Artemis to get to his feet. Hurricane Rana again. And now to the top rope. What a moonsault by the Brawling Star. Kaiser, cover. Kick out. A standing moonsault. Rather shooting star. Oh, and a Cosmo Impact. 1, 2, oh, and a kick out. And now looking to put away Artemis with the Star Buster. Cover. Artemis stays alive. And now Brawl telling Artemis to get to his feet. Looking for the springboard. Another Hurricane Rana. Off the ropes, look out here. Oh, looking for that neck breaker. Artemis moved out of the way. Now from behind, whipping Brawl off the ropes. Looking for that shot to the gut and countered by Brawl. Countered by Artemis. Back and forth we go. Now waiting for Brawl to get to his feet, able to roll out of the way. Oh, the wheelbarrow into the DDT. And oh, looking for the knees. Shades of the Madness. That Meteoro off the middle rope. Will get out of the corner. Oh, look out here, Brawl. Again. Star Buster, number 2. Pulling Artemis away from the ropes, and he has not looked the same since that music hit. Will this do it? It will!
Here is your winner, Brawl Kaiser!
And with that win, Brawl has the impressive achievement of beating every member of the Trios Champions 1-on-1. So Brawl stays hot. And ladies and gentlemen, we talked a lot about the Executive Club, but before we continue to talk about the Executive Club, let's talk about M's match last week. Essentially a handicap match. It was supposed to be Sergeant Major Payne and Nice Ice versus M and Red Star Roman. And well, when Nice Ice did as Nice Ice does and turned on Sergeant Major Payne once again, it left Major Payne in a 2-on-1 situation. And while Red Star Roman didn't really get very much involved in the match, Sergeant Major Payne beat M in that matchup. And apparently, they had words backstage, and we have that audio for you right now.
Nice Ice makes no sense. First he saves his sergeant's comrade, then the very next week abandons him in the ring. And now that vainglorious bastard follows me around. Here's where it gets interesting. I searched Warzone's locker room when I went over to avenge Terrence Cullen, and what did I find? A note addressed to my icy stalker, telling him the exact time of my match with Sergeant Major Payne. Someone set the cyborg up to this.
And that someone was me.
What are you... You! Why?
Well, you needed training, and I couldn't think of a better partner to show you what you could be. Second place against people like me. You and Nice Eyes share that in common. Also, I hate being interrupted.
Big mistake, backstabber!
No, Roman. Lay a hand on me outside of an official match, and Kathgina's chances suddenly disappear to being in the briefcase match. You wouldn't want your dear friend to suffer because of your mistakes. This is the lesson I'm trying to teach you. Break down. You hesitated and failed. You must never hesitate. Face it, Roman. You can't touch me.
No, but I can.
I may not like you, Roman, but I hate him more. Did you hesitate in your matches?
What? That's none of your... Yes.
Don't do it again. I will handle him. And then it is your turn.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 282 pounds, he is the Siberian cyborg, Nice Eyes.
M attacked backstage by Nice Eyes during his meeting with Red Star Roman. Nice Eyes saying, I'll take care of M and then you are next. And ladies and gentlemen, last week notwithstanding, this is an interesting matchup. Nice Ice has never, and I repeat never, in any of their matches over on Warzone ever defeated M. 0-5. Will tonight be any different?
And introducing his opponent, weighing in at 278 pounds, representing the Executive Club, M.
And tweeting out as he normally does before his matches, one word, 5 letters, kneel. M looking to make it 6-0 against Nice Ice. And I'm being told by my statistician that apparently 4 of those losses are to Maximilian Thunder Thighs. M is only 1-0. But technically the same man. Or at least, we hope. But here we go, the Siberian Cyborg. And the main event Mauler, the Executive Club Enforcer, the, what's M? And there's a leg drop. Nice putting the boots to M. Now going after the arm. And coming up later tonight, ladies and gentlemen, an interesting showcase match lineup. Who will be going to Multiverse in that King of the Showcase? And in our main event, can the Madness defeat Mr. Lawson's hand-picked opponent for him in order to challenge Defunk at Multivania? Oh, what a running knee! Now a shot to the gut, boot to the head! M just continuing to do work on nice ice. Right hands, staggering the big man. Now up on the shoulders, M hung out to dry. Splash on top of M. And now hooks the leg, cradles the head. 2 and a kick out. And now another kick to the head. M just letting out that ruthless aggression. Now a running power slam on nice ice. Camel clutch with a knee in the back. What a clothesline by M. Able to take him down. Driving him towards the ropes. Oh, into the corner, counter. M backs it all the way up. And a running hit of Steve, but he got caught. Nice ice staggers him. And a chop. Now a boot to the midsection. M could be in trouble. From Russia with love. The cover. Can he beat the losing streak? No. M kicks out. And now to the top rope. And now off the ropes, look out here. Drops the legs across the body of Nice Ice, and now he'll hook the leg. Will he get him? And he does! Here is your oh, wait a second! Major Pain taking out everybody! He's been everywhere tonight! and Nice Ice laid out! Able to pick up the win. Sergeant Major Payne has been everywhere. He cost Bully Dog, and he just took out Nice Ice and M. He's gone full rebellion. And ladies and gentlemen, before we get to our next match, we have to hear from one of the competitors in our next match. Alicia Eclipse has set her eyes on Mizuki Napier, the Queen of Apex. And before she continues her quest against Apex, specifically the Queen, we are going to hear from Celicia after losing to Labras last week.
Mizuki. My dear, I so enjoyed our dance last week with our partners. Group dances are always entertaining because of what they bring to the floor. And my dear, it is so nice to know that you seem excited to dance with me as much as I am to dance with you. That being said, keeping me from continuing my turn with Crimson Phoenix. Naughty, darling. It goes to show what lengths you'll go to for a win. We are not even at the main event, my dear, and you are already trying to set the pace of which our dances will go. I must say, that is why I chose you. A queen, not of a court, but of the stage at which we dance. I'll be able to keep up, darling, and so look forward to our next dance. Oh, and one last thing, my dear. Thank you for meeting my expectations, darling.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 205 pounds, representing Doom, Celicia Eclipse.
The Lantern of Macabre by her side. We already know that Xerxes will be in the brass briefcase ladder match. Michael Macabre to be in the King of the Showcase match. And Eclipse with a challenge for Mizuki. But tonight, it will not be the Queen that she faces. Eclipse is the newest member of Doom and one of the newest members on the Flashbang roster in general. Probably most notably, their call out of death itself, Helix sucks. So we know Eclipse has some cojones. Targeting the legends of MNW throughout the ages.
And introducing her opponent. Weighing in at 222 pounds, he is the Sunken Sea Captain, Zephyr Tail.
So Apex sends out the Sunken Sea Captain a deal with Cilicia this week. It was Labras last week who got a surprise victory over Eclipse, but that's what happens when you keep your opponent's secret. No time to prepare, and we'll see if Eclipse has any better luck against the Sunken Sea Captain. But unlike the power and submission prowess of Labras, except for the high flyer of Apex. And here we go. Right out of the gate, Zephyr catches the leg. Oh, but an Inzaguri staggers. A high flyer and then the cross body. Up to the top rope and all the moonsault. And now going after Zephyr. Able to counter, ducks the kick, moves out of the way. And now up over the top rope. And then shotguns her across the top. And then the drop kick misses. Look at legs trying to keep Zephyr from diving out there. In Eclipse. Caught. Hurricane Rana. And looking for the moonsault. Whipping Zephyr into the corner, the right hands. With a clothesline, ducks it, German suplex. A moonsault again, catching her one more time. Oh, nice arm wrench and then ducks underneath and clotheslines him out of his boots. Got to the midsection, looking for this power bomb backbreaker. Into the cover. 1, 2, and a kick at it too. Now the frustration may be starting to get to Eclipse. Look out here, Fisherman suplex. No bridge though. Look for the clothesline, missed. Abdominal stretch now locked in, but a counter again by Eclipse. Looking for the drop kick and moves. And drops Zephyr on the back of his head. To the corner. Will it knock Felicia out of the corner? Keeping the pressure on into the corner. Counter. Forearm shot. Russian leg sweep floats over, and here come the right hands. And now the knee to the temple. Cover. And a kick out. And now face first with the flatliner, and now this submission move locked in. Trying to choke out Zephyr, but he's able to turn it over. And trips him up again. Whipped off the ropes, up over the top. Shoulder checks him to the outside. Now was waiting, and again, right back into the submission move, catching him in off the entry. But a rope break by legs. To the top. Moonsault, he rolls out of the way. Over the springboard, and he catches her. The elbow. Now lands on her feet, and down goes Zephyr. Trying to crawl his way towards the corner. That is not going to save him. Now to the top rope. Telling Zephyr to get up. And a cross body takes him out. And now the cover. Referee in position. Doesn't see Zephyr's foot onto the rope.
Here is your winner, Celicia Eclipse.
Oh, look out! Satiris from behind! Satiris didn't like the fact that they missed the rope break. And now Celicia Eclipse dealing with the biggest member of Apex. Satiris out of the locker room. And trying to take him out. The mission move locked in. And now Satiris whipping them in off the ropes. And a spear! The gore to the chest! And now another submission move locked in. And now look out here, looking for another submission move of her own. And Labris again fights out of it. Weak to the midsection. Going for another submission move. Doing everything she can. Just trying to wear down this Minotaur. Oh, look out here. Looking for the knee right to the temple. And then rolls out of the way. Looking for the headbutt shoved away. Looking for the headbutt again. Shoved away again, and then back at Fort they go. Security having to pull them apart. Good luck with that. Well, it certainly has been an active Friday Night Flashbang, that's for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've already heard from M once in regard to Red Star Roman, who will be in singles competition next. But apparently M is not done here tonight. Let's take a listen to what he has to say.
This is an official announcement from the club to Honor Bound. I have decided on the advantage that the club shall have. I am adding 2 rules to this War Games match. The first is only official members of either Honor Bound or the Executive Club may take part in the War Games match. And for my second rule, disqualifications by any team will still contribute to a title exchange. Meaning if Honor Bound is disqualified, they will lose the titles to the Executive Club. But you shouldn't be so worried. You have 6 members, right? I have 2 weeks. Let the hunt begin.
Well, tell me you've never been in a War Games match without telling me you've never been in a War Games match, M. As you know, there are no disqualifications inside of that structure. The only way you could possibly lose is by escaping the cage, which is an automatic loss, which would result in a title change if you tried to escape the cage. However, the stipulation that only members of their respective teams can be involved in the match certainly limits Honor Bound's options, especially considering a couple of their members aren't around. For example, the Smoking Mirror betrayed them, and DeLuna hasn't exactly been rolling with Honor Bound, which doesn't leave them a lot of options. However, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about it all night. The brass briefcase ladder match. The 8 competitors, Lady Kathgina, Zericus DeLuna, Lucius Constantine, Damian Anderson, Mr. Enigma, Jagger Blackthorn returns to Friday nights for this matchup, and the Grim Reaper round out your 8. Who will control the fate of a championship in MNW with a simple briefcase? We will find that out at Multivania. And now, we send it down to ringside. Red Star Roman has been summoned. The Brass has a match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 265 pounds, representing Dirty Deeds, Red Star Roman.
So Roman marching his way down to the ring and had a very heated confrontation with M, telling him to remember his place. Oh boy.
And introducing his opponent, 268 pounds, from the multiverse of Street Fighter, Guile!
Well, who doesn't love a good old confrontation between Mother Russia and America? The Blue Blood himself. So Guile, once again, who's been impressive in his limited matchups here, crashing through the forbidden door, as we call it. El Pollo already in action, not here to deal with this invader, and it's going to be Roman sent out by the brass to handle business. So here we go, Roman one-on-one with Guile. Who do you like? Let's get it on. And Guile quick out of the corner, not wasting any time going after Roman. Oh, Argentinian backbreaker. And now there's a quick roll-up trying to pin Guile into the cover kick out. And now trying to pick up Guile, and then double axe handles him right back down to the ground. Oh, the Oscar, dropping Guile on the back of his head. The right hand staggers him into the ropes and flip to the outside. Now trying to drop the elbow. Here comes the knee right to the face. Now a couple of right hands. And now back into the ring. Now the inverted atomic drop runs into the shoulder of Red Star Roman, doesn't even move. And now the elbow. Oh, the straight jacket DDT. And now looking for the figure four. And now up on the shoulders, look at Roman. A spinning neck breaker. And now here comes Roman, fired up, boot to the midsection, trying to finish off Guile. What a power bomb! A Red Star power bomb, but he kicks out. Telling Guile to get back to his feet. And now looking for the Iron Curtain. The Iron Curtain, and now the immediate boot. Oh, he got countered. Face first. Into the right hand, countered again. Countered again. Back and forth we go. Clothesline to Guile. Into the cover. Will this do it? 2. Kick out. And now looking for the Iron Curtain number 2. Will that do it? And he got him!
Here is your winner, Red Star Roman!
So Roman picks up the win, dealing with one of our invaders. But now he has to deal with Nice Ice in that challenge. He's already fought M. Nice Ice said Red Star Roman was next. And ladies and gentlemen, before we get to our next matchup, after that announcement from M with his stipulations for the War Games match, the Jar and Honorbound have a retort.
Why am I not surprised that the Snake Fangs would be dishonorable? Well then, if that is how it shall be, if you are that afraid of Honorbound, then let us show you just how terrifying we can be. You see, you assume you know our numbers, and admittedly, our alliance pack does make things confusing. But it also gives many options for us to strike back. Many who wait to taste the prey's life current. In fact, one such hunter seems to be very interested in being included in your manipulated hunt. And while their request has surprised me, I am not one to deny someone their place in the hunt. So you will have to forgive me for keeping things short. I am expecting them any moment. Ah, there they come now. Run along. I want this to be a surprise. Welcome, friend. Let us discuss your terms for your official joining of Honorbound.
Well, apparently Sajar is doing his best recruiting like he's a college football coach. They're going to need some backup, and that's exactly what Sajar is trying to do. Who in the world did he find? But coming up next, folks, we know that we have a showcase match here later tonight, and the winner of that match goes on to Multiverse. But the Brass has seen a group of tag teams in multiple showcase matches trying to punch their ticket. And tonight, they have a very unique opportunity. It's not a showcase match. It's kind of like a get-off-the-schneid match, but it has huge implications. A fatal four-way tornado tag team match. Whichever one of these teams win, both members of the winning team will be in the King of the Showcase. It's 8 competitors, but it's not elimination. What it is next.
The following contest is a fatal four-way tornado tag team match. Scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 815 pounds, the team of Zach DeWeaver and Lasube, the Guild.
Lasube, one of the fiercest showcase competitors we've ever seen, and Zach DeWeaver, always a wild card, the head merchant of MNW. And a huge opportunity for the Guild to punch their ticket to Multiverse.
And introducing second. At a combined weight of 601 pounds, the team of Samuel Manatee and Suicide Gemini, Hell's Kitchen.
So we've got the Guild, we've got Hell's Kitchen. Remember, the winning team puts both their members in the King of the Showcase match.
And introducing third, at a combined weight of 702 pounds, the team of Big Rock and Huge Mane, the Forces of Nature.
The first Lasume and now Big Rock, a prolific performer in Showcase history. The second all-time in wins. Alexis Edmonton broke that record last week. But Big Rock could tie the record if he wins this match and wins at Multivania. Who wants to be the King of the Showcase? Who can punch their ticket here tonight? These are some of the most prolific tag teams we have in MNW. And if it wasn't for the club, they might be taking on Honor Bound. Former tag team champions. Team number 3. Oh boy.
And introducing fourth. At a combined weight of 678 pounds, the team of the Cyber Controller and Cool J Kyo, the Cyberbots.
So the bots are team number 4, and I was waiting for the Executive Club to put their finger on this match. The former Trios champions trying to get to Multivania. So the bots, the Forces of Nature, the Guild, and Hell's Kitchen, only one team can get to Multivania. Who will it be? Here we go, folks. A huge opportunity for these tag teams. Left out of the title picture, but not necessarily left out of Multivania. Here we go. Got the same number of folks as a showcase match, but it's one fall to a finish. You got to have eyes in the back of your head because it only takes one pinfall, not even against your own team, to lose this match. We've got Lasume starting off with Cool J Kyo, Suicide Gemini, living up to his name, taking on Big Rock, Manatee, and the Controller. And DeWeaver was hooked up with Huge Mane, but now Controller takes him to the ropes. Right hand. And now Big Rock and Lasume squaring off. Two of the biggest competitors we have in MNW. Look at Gemini going after Kyo. Power bomb. Well, shades of CJR Killer with that power bomb. The DOA bomb. And now the uppercut, and Big Rock didn't like that a lot from Controller, who moves out of the way. And now the front slam there by Gemini. Now a couple of right hands by Kyo, taking down Main. And down goes Kyo. And now DeWeaver looking for a power bomb. And now submission move locked in on Big Rock. It's going to be on the outside, which won't help him, but it will wear him out. Roller going after Lasume. No fans of the only robot that hasn't joined the revolution. Go looking for that clothesline on Manatee. Missed. Headbutt to Manatee. Now face first off the turnbuckle. And now whipped into the ropes. Look out here, slides down the back, Lasume. And now, running Liger Bomb. And now there's the DDT by Gemini. The kiss of despair, trying to send them to Multivania. The backbreaker. There are just bodies everywhere. So much on the line. Who wants another shot at Multivania? The grandest show of them all. The boot to the midsection. Here comes the power bomb and into the rope, or into the apron rather. Twice there by Manatee, able to get the big bot up. And now picking them back up, throwing them in the ring. And now Big Rock able to drop Lasume. 1, 2, diving in there is Manatee to save the matchup for his team. And Big Rock knows that might have been his opportunity. Now a clothesline to Gemini. Belly to belly. Hooks the leg. And now the hook of the leg by Gemini. Oh, and there's the tree trunk across the throat. Into the cover. And now squeezing on the traps of Manatee is Big Rock. And a super kick to DeWeaver. Now Big Rock boot to the midsection. And dropped on his head. Hook of the leg on Gemini. Kane trying to get the forces of nature to Multivania. Not going to happen. Another roll up by DeWeaver. This could do it, and Gemini able to pop up. Look out here. Chef special! But Lasume! Kick out! Lasume nearly got it and was able to distract Manatee from going for the pin by pinning Cool J Kyo, who's going to try to steal it for the bots maybe. But Big Rock sits up. And a big splash! Clean up on aisle 3, but a kick out. And now here comes Big Rock. Rock in a hard place. Huge main into play. Oh, Big Rock has to go for that pin. You have got to go for the pin, Big Rock. What are you doing? Kane is going to go for it. Body's in the ring, but Manatee breaks it up. A costly mistake by Big Rock. And now, oh, look at Controller. Trying to go for the pin. He's sent over the top rope. Here goes Lasume with the Lasume! Blam! Down goes Big Rock. You saw Kyo and Gemini both stop what they were doing and immediately turn towards the pin. There's the knee by Cool J Kyo. Into the ring. And now up to the top, right hand to Main. Counter by Huge Main. And another counter, just fighting him off on the turnbuckle. Main dives with a double axe handle. Into the cover. And now from behind, German suplex, the straitjacket. Big splash by Big Rock. And now Manatee, poised to get dropped on his head. Rock in a hard place. The cover. 1, 2, and there's Big Rock punching the ticket for the forces of nature.
Here are your winners, the team of Big Rock and Huge Main, the Forces of Nature.
The submission specialist Main and the showcase phenom Big Rock. The former tag champs just made king of the showcase. Very interesting. And folks, we've talked about it over and over again. Multivania just a couple of weeks away. And with that in mind, we'd like to remind everybody that tonight's episode of Friday Night Flashbang is brought to you in part by Lowe's. Lowe's! But why? And now it's time to pay the bills.
Welcome, everyone, to the Multivania Access Experience. I'm your host, the Black Prince, Jack Andrews, here to guide you through all the things that you can find here at Multivania Access. Come on, let's have some fun. Here at Access, you can find all your favorite MNW merch, from branded chairs to your favorite wrestlers' t-shirts, right here at Merchants Row. Access gives you, the fans, a chance to live out your dream moments by emulating your favorite MNW competitor's entrance, from the stage to the ring. Come on, there's only really one entrance that's going to make you feel like a beast. Not only that, but we also have the best panels set up where you can ask questions to not just your favorite MNW stars, but some of our senior crew and guests that we've invited. Even the guys from Lowe's. But we don't know why. MNW has even reached out to local promotions on the run-up to its biggest event of the year, showcasing talent from beyond the barriers of the multiverse, allowing you to whet your appetite with some high-octane wrestling before the big show, so you can be a part of all this, starting today, all the way up until Friday the 28th, the night before Multivania kicks off its two-night spectacular. Okay, we done? Cool. Screw you, Lawson.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better. Face facts, 'cause your opinion don't matter. This maniac is gonna step on whomever. It's time getting light, 'cause I'm gonna make changes. Kicking ass, taking names, cleaning house all the babies. I'm burning out the day.
Greetings, Flashbang. My name is Mr. Lawson, and I am the hand-picked representative of the brass. And I am here with a couple of very special announcements. You see, Multivania is just a few short weeks away, and there are still some things that need to be determined, like who in our upcoming match will continue the legacy of the King of the Showcase, who will add their name to the list of Showcase winners. It could be one of the competitors you are about to see. But that's not our main event. You see, in our main event, the Madness goes one-on-one with a hand-picked opponent of my choosing for the right to face Defunk at Multivania. And Madness, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, as a former referee, I saw what happened last week. The fix is probably already in. And I want to assure you, what happened last week was a complete and utter disgrace. And I am here to officially announce that Bully Dog has been suspended from refereeing for the foreseeable future. We have taken those concerns under advisement. Do not you worry. And tonight we're going to make sure that your referee is very special indeed. Then that brings me to Mr. Vicious, who decided to run his mouth here earlier tonight. Victor, I believe it was something to the effect of use me or cut me loose. Well, I do plan on using you. At Multivania, I've thought of a wonderful idea for you. You see, Vic, I think you should team up with your new best friend, Brawl Kaiser. Because I have a very special tag team in mind to take on the two of you. But here's the exception, Vic. I will let you out of your contract if you win. But if you lose, and you will lose, then the next night on Friday Night Flashbang, it will be Victor Vicious versus Brawl Kaiser. Loser leaves MNW. Think about it. Let me know. And have a good night.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better. Face facts, 'cause your opinion don't matter. This maniac is gonna step on whomever.
blockbuster announcement, folks. Mr. Lawson, number one, saying that the Madness's match has been carefully thought out, but an offer to Victor Vicious, a chance out of his contract. Brawl and Vic have to team up against a tag team of Lawson's choosing. Win and Vic is free. Lose, and the very next Flashbang, it will be Brawl versus Victor Vicious. Loser leaves MNW. That is monumental. And I'll tell you what, folks, good luck with that. You have to have some serious cojones to put your potential career on the line at Multivania. But as Mr. Lawson said, it is now time for showcase action. One more ticket to punch this week. Who's going to Multivania? We're going to find out next.
It's a new day, yes it is!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, or rather, it is a showcase match. Introducing first, representing House Caliban, weighing in at 215 pounds, Donkey King.
We haven't seen DK in a little while, and he returns here for showcase action. Oh, that's a...
And introducing second, weighing in at 322 pounds, Polite Howless. And introducing third, representing AAA, weighing in at 179 pounds, the Slam Fabian.
So Slamphibia trying to punch her ticket to Multivania. So we've got Blight Howless, Amphibian, Donkey King. Who's number 4?
Introducing fourth, weighing in at 246 pounds, he is the cult classic, Henry Cole.
So Henry Colt marching his way down to the ring, and after seeing Alexis Edmonton qualify for the King of the Showcase, got to be frustrated that he hasn't punched his ticket yet. So Henry ready to punch his ticket to Multivania, but there's still 4 more competitors to fill out this match.
And introducing fifth, weighing in at 249 pounds, he is the Dragonborn Wiley.
And here comes Wiley. So Wiley with an opportunity now to get his spot in the King of the Showcase. So we've got Wiley, Amphibian Blight Howlis, Donkey Kang, and Henry Colt. This is already looking stacked.
Introducing next, weighing in at 241 pounds, Ramu.
Famine has arrived. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been paying attention, the registrants for the King of the Showcase continue to pile in, and we still have 1 more week to go, but the opportunities are dwindling.
And introducing 7th. Representing Doom, weighing in at 233 pounds, he is the Mad Pumpkin King, Magic.
Trying to join Michael Macabre in the King of the Showcase match. Doom's a resident prankster. And of course, it's always fun to see the Pumpkin King and the Jester in the same match. Ramon and Mad Jack with plenty of history as he stalks his way to the ring. And still one more slot to go to join these competitors. Who will be number 8?
And introducing 8th, representing VIP and Warzone, weighing in at 240 pounds, Duplex Sam.
Well, we saw Oz there last week. Warzone starting to get involved in these showcase matches. And now here comes Sam. Well, folks, there's one thing that we can all agree on here on Friday nights. Everyone dogpile Sam and go from there. So Sam, much like Ozir last week, trying to qualify for this King of the Showcase match. And here we go. There's an elbow to the face of Suplex Sam by Mad Jack. Very familiar with VIP from their rivalry in the Trios title picture. And Henry Cole trying to get rid of the Warzone Invader now. And now Donkey Kong getting pressed by Blight Hellas. And now a stomp to the back. DK taken down. Wiley looking to clothesline the shoes off of Henry Colt. And coming up next, folks, our main event, the Madness versus a mystery opponent picked by Mr. Lawson. Win, and they get the Funk at Multivania. Backbreaker. And now there's the cover on Slamphibian. Kick out there on the pin by Mad Jack. And now Colt in some trouble. And now slam to the outside. Donkey Kong trying to punch out of this powerbomb predicament. Got out of it. And now a couple of shots to the gut. Elbow by Mad Jack. And there's, oh, a knee to the head. And now look at Wiley and Blight Howlis with some teamwork. Never thought I would see that. And now going after Mad Jack is the Rougarou, the right hand. And the splash missing. And now into the cover, kick out by Slam. And now Sam into the corner, double axe handle. There's Howlis going after his old rival Wiley, trying to get rid of him with a Blight Breaker. And a splash by Mad Jack. The cover on Henry Colt, 2, kick out. And now Howlis up on the shoulders and hung out to dry. And a low blow by Ramon on Wiley. That is legal. And there goes the light tube. Off the low blow to Wiley. Oh, and he kicked out. And now the almost a version of the famine drop there by Mad Jack. The code red from Amphibian, and legs goes down, might have hurt his knee. And again on the knee slam. Legs is just in a bad way right now. And now a clothesline to Howlis. Now up over the top rope. Forearm shot. Oh, he was looking for the famine drop. Light almost dropped out of the bottom of it. The knee to the goat. But boot to the head. Colt. Cover. Kick out. And now the belly to belly. And a clothesline to Wiley. And that leaves Colt in the ring alone with Howlis. Damn, looking for the pin. And now the belly to belly. And now there's the table brought in by Wiley. From behind, boot to the midsection. Look at the White Lotus, trying to tap out Colt. Colt with nowhere to go. And there's the suplex by Suplex Sam. Nice fisherman. And now looking for the famine drop on Wiley. And now look at this, oh, the guillotine! A guillotine on Sam, who's trying to fight out of Howlis' guillotine. Lands on his feet. And now trying to choke out Mad Jack. Trapped under ice. And now the roll-up, inside cradle, out of the Samplex. Rolls him over. 1, 2, kick out by Howlis. Now a right hand by Sam. Able to counter. Now throws him into the barricade. And the punchline to Howlis. Knocking him out. But he sits back up. You've got to be kidding me. And now the Cold Classic on DK. Referee up in time. And he got him!
Donkey Kong has been eliminated!
And so DK eliminated by Colt. Now looking for the DDT. Body blows, no, DDT again. Here's the roll-up by Mad Jack, but a kick out by Colt. Now the froggy knee, taking out Mad Jack. 2. Oh, and a kick out. And there's the howling. The howling to Sam. And throws him into the, oh, look out here, roll up off the howling. Trying to get rid of suplex Sam. Howless, no. Super kick to Colt. And Mad Jack gets rid of Slamphibian. Meanwhile, suplex Sam getting choked out. Was it an official tap out?
The Slamphibian has been eliminated, and Suplex Sam has been eliminated.
Sam heading back to the locker room, tapped out by Howless. And a punchline! Knocking out Wiley. 1, 2, kick out. And oh, there it is, Jack's knife to Howless. And now Howless. Look out, and oh, Mad Jack taking a shot. And then onto the trash can goes Howless. STO in the trash can. Holt also one of the most prolific showcase performers we've ever had. Look out here, the 45 to the face. And now from behind the Colt Classic. Wiley never saw it. And he kicked out again. And Mad Jack gets booted by Ramon. And Nita Ramon now. And a kick out. And now the barricade again. There's another elbow. Now, uh-oh, Mad Jack in trouble. Whipped in off the ropes. And Apollo was looking for the pounce, but Wiley rolled up Colt in his way. To the midsection. Back to the corner. Turns around. From behind, was looking trapped under ice. And now Wiley got caught. Looking for the Blight Breaker. And there's the sunset flip. And Howless getting sick of people getting in his way. Neck breaker to Howless. There's a right hand now. Mad Jack in trouble. Helm! The Blight Breaker into the cover. Mad Jack eliminated.
Mad Jack has been eliminated.
Now the right hand from behind. Wiley, the kick to the back. Now sent to the corner. Oh, the big right hand, he missed. And on the roll-up, Howless, foot on the rope, but there's no rope break. 2, kick out. And now looking for the White Lotus on Ramon. And Ramon able to hang on, but might have passed out in the hold. Trying to roll out of the ring. And throws him onto the table. And trapped under ice now. Howless in trouble, trying to fight out of it. And does. Now Howless going for another Blight Breaker. Onto the table. Cover on Wiley. 1, 2, he got him.
Wiley has been eliminated.
And now we're down to Ramon, Colt, and Blight Howless. And the power bomb into the cover. 2, nope, not even a 2 count. And oh my God, the howling! He just speared him onto the steps, too! God, he kicked out! Incredible! And now look at all the choke! Trying to choke out Colt! Look at the torque on Howlis! And Colt is tapping out!
Henry Colt has been eliminated.
And now look at Howlis, full head of steam, and howling over the stairs! Look at the leg! Oh my God!
Here is your winner, Blight Howlis!
Good Lord! Howlis is in the King of the Showcase match, and I do not envy that match. And ladies and gentlemen, coming up, it is now time for our main event, Hand the Madness. Get his hands on Defunct and Multivania. We're gonna find out next.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, the special guest referee for this match, Mr. Lawson.
Well, Mr. Lawson said he would have a special ref for Madness, and I guess he meant himself. And notably minus his neck brace, which I don't know if that means he's been medically cleared or what. I think I'm gonna be sick.
And introducing first, representing Flow, weighing in at 233 pounds, he is the Mad Tino Heat, the Madness.
And the real question becomes, who has Lawson found to take on the Madness? Meanwhile, the Sandman tweeting out, did you decide to officiate the match in your high school uniform, Lawson, you dork?
Oh no! And introducing his opponent, And introducing his opponent, weighing in at 265 pounds, Victor Vicious!
Oh, that's evil. That's evil. Victor Vicious said, let me out of my contract or fight me. And well, Lawson gave him an ultimatum. Vic and Brawl versus a team of his choosing for Vic's freedom. But if you lose, then the next night on Friday Night Flashbang, it'll be Vic versus Brawl in a loser leaves MNW match. He's wanted to get rid of Brawl Kaiser for years. And this is why this is a rough position, because we know Vic wants to kick the crap out of the Madness for what he did. Was one of the main reasons why he's no longer world champion. We know the situation surrounding that now. I hate to say it, this might have been a brilliant pick. It's just evil. And here we go, and look at, oh, right hand by Vic. And now the head scissor. And now the drop kick to the face. And now stomping on the fingers. And now into the cover. Will he actually? And only a 1 count by Vic. And now looking for the springboard, the drop kick to the face of Victor Vicious. And now the splash on Vic. Another cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Vic. And now attacking the legs of Victor Vicious. We also know from Mr. Lawson that Bully Dog has been suspended for his actions last week from refereeing. And now Vic just threw him into Lawson. And Lawson has put himself into harm's way. Gotta be careful. And now a kick and a shot to the gut, drop kick to the face. And now a stomp to the arm. Look out here, there's the knees, there's the mad crash. Into the cover, Lawson, 2, kick out by Vic. Oh, looking for the super kick, the upsy daisy, what a clothesline by Vic. And a drop kick to the knee. And a kick to the head. And is looking for the vicious clothesline. And have you seen the counter for counter? Vic and Madness know each other so well. Whipped into the corner. And now a stomp to the back of the head. Vic, double axe handle. And now look at the camel clutch locked in. But Madness escaping. And now whipped in off the ropes. The leapfrog. Looking for the back elbow, blocked by Vic. Right hand. From behind, oh, there's the choke. Trying to choke him out. Madness with nowhere to go. Just trying to throw bows at his ribs. And now look at this, he uses the ropes. Lawson never saw the rope, but luckily Vic kicked out. And now looking for the scoop slam, but Vic able to turn into dead weight and crush Madness. Now a quick cover. And now look at this, ignoring the feet on the ropes, looking right at it, but a kick out at 1. And a couple of drop downs by Vic. Waits, and what a chop. Blocked by the Madness, though. Up on the shoulders. And now, oh, there it is! The Daka Droppa of Nidzik Gunkabla. I don't know if it's paying homage or being disrespectful, but a Daka Droppa to Madness. And again, can't get Vic up. Meanwhile, Graven Allen tweeting out on social media, you know, Lawson, if you're good enough to referee, I'm sure Aldini wouldn't mind giving you some in-ring training. Just don't expect him to go easy on you. And a vicious clothesline to Madness. And that staggered Madness, who's trying to roll out of the way, but he can't get his wits about him. The Mad Crash. And there's the super kick. Looking for Upsy Daisy. Vic has a foot on the ropes. Lawson doesn't care, but a kick out at 1. The bitterness in his soul, refusing to even let Madness get a 2 count. Fight is a powerful motivator, and we are watching it on full display. Right hand to Vic. Madness going high risk, all the way to the top. Top rope Hurricane Rana. And a knee to the face. And now turning him over. Knee to the inside part of the leg. And now an elbow. Go after the arms now. And now stretching him out. And now look at this! A dragon clutch of Jack Andrews, a man who has fought Victor Vicious for the world title before. Now whipped into the corner. Looking for the back elbow. Spun him out. Looking for that combat roll out of the corner. Topsy-turvy. Cover on Vic. 1, 2. Oh, he kicked out at Madness. Doesn't believe it. There's the drop kick. Now boot to the head. Boot slam onto the logo. And now looking again for the scoop slam it again, Vic. Now the jawbreaker to Vic. Look out here, Mad Crash again! Will this be enough? Vic is down, count of 2, kick out again! Vic moves out of the way, and there it goes! Upsy! Daisy! Doesn't even bridge, keeps him away from the ropes! Cover! And he actually counted to 3! The Madness wins! Here is your winner, the Madness! Madness picks up the win! He actually beat Vic! So, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. The Madness versus Defunk at Multivania. And folks, that brings us to the conclusion of tonight's events. We have so much more to get to because next week is our final show before Multivania. And ladies and gentlemen, it promises to be a doozy. But we will talk about all of that next week because we are out of time. My name is Eric J. Erickson. We'll see you next week. Good night!